Hold on.
Okay. Toe to toe, episode number 58.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome. We're glad you're here. What's up, Jen Mertland?
Hey, Monica.
How are you?
I'm super. How are you?
Very good. Good
Great.
to see you. Hey, we're going to solve some problems today, I think.
As usual.
All right. All right, guys. I'm glad you're here. As you know, here's what Jen and I want to do. We want to demonstrate to you that there's more than one way to succeed in this business.
There's the right way. No, I'm just kidding.
There's Jen's way, and then there's all kinds of other ways. Now, when you find your authentic path, you'll be amazed at how much easier of a time you have in finding success in this business.
And more fun.
That's right. So in today's episode, which, Jen, by the way, is episode 58.
Whoa.
Where has the time gone? In today's episode 58, Jen and I are going to maybe not duke it out so much, but we're going to maybe hit you between the eyes a little bit on this subject.
We're going to fight with you.
Yeah, right. What are the top 3 financial mistakes agents make?
Oh,
top 3 financial
mistakes. Are we doing like personal mistakes that we've made?
Look, I think it's good to be vulnerable. I think it's good to be vulnerable for sure, because why not? As a whole, Jen, would you agree that our industry, real estate agents, is not necessarily the most financially astute group? Is that fair to say?
I think that's a nice way to say it. Yeah. I mean, I think like most agents, and I've said this before, like they just don't know how to do math, and that's insanity to me.
Right.
And I don't know if I have a few. I mean, I think we're going to come up with a few more than 3, but maybe we can get it narrowed down.
Well, and of course, there are some exceptions to this rule, many exceptions, but I think the one thing that's going on here is that agents aren't realizing that they're actually running a business.
That's the main problem. And do you know, most business owners have a P&L.
Whoa, is that one of our first ones?
That is the first one I think we should do.
Agents
because most agents don't even know what a P&L is.
But what is a P&L, Jen?
It's a profit and loss statement.
All right, what does it have? What does it include?
It has your expenses. It has your income. It tells you how much money you're actually making after you pay your broker, pay all your dues, pay for your postcards. And if you're buying Zillow leads, stop paying for that.
But we digress.
This
is one where I can be vulnerable. I didn't have a P&L in my business until probably the last couple years.
Really?
Yeah. I made entirely too much money to be not responsible enough to put it in a P&L form. Now I paid my taxes every year. Like I ended up having to scramble and do a version of it. But
right.
I
mean, too, if you're a real estate agent, your P&L, it's not only a good business practice, like literally every single person that owns a business has a P&L. Like that's just business principle
101
basic. Yeah.
Right.
And it's really good because when you start looking at it, you can actually not only control your expenses, but like make more money.
Okay. So Jen, I'm an agent that maybe doesn't make as much money as I'd like to make. Maybe I make only $40,000 a year, $35,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I have so many expenses and I don't really want to look at it.
Maybe, well, okay.
Right. Why
should I do? Because you don't want to look at it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. See, that's one of the biggest problems is sticking your head in the sand doesn't make it go away.
Right.
Putting it on paper, examining it, looking at it. I remember Gary Keller saying, every Sunday night, he looked at his numbers every Sunday night.
Well, you should be tracking your numbers every day in general.
Yes.
For the activities that you do.
Financial world. Like he would just look at his money every Sunday.
Well, yeah, every week you need to look at it. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're trying like a new tactic, like we talked about in one of our other episodes, like how long do you try a new tactic? Yeah. And we talked about holding it accountable. But if you're not looking at like how much it cost you versus how much you received from that, I mean, how would you know? It would just be like a feeling, but emotions and feelings are not good bases for business decisions.
This is true.
It makes me insane. You can literally find a free version.
Yes.
Just Google that shit. Profit and loss statement.
Template for profit and loss. It's literally a list of your expenses totaled up your income and subtract them. I mean,
I
it can
feel
be
like we should talk about your accountant, and I know you don't have one. Not you.
I do. Oh, you're talking about the
Listeners.
okay.
Oh, a CPA.
Yes.
They also probably have one, or they have a bookkeeper portion of their business that can also do this. Or we use there's a lot of electronic versions. We use
Mhm.
YNAB, and
YNAB?
YNAB,
Okay.
and it's really easy, and you can use it for personal and for business, and then it will print reports for you.
What's that stand for?
You're something about a budget.
You're
I
not
don't know.
something at budget, or yeah, I forget. That's
I
good.
should
I
look it
use
up.
QuickBooks. That's the basic version. You can hire an accountant to you just send your receipts, and like you can hire somebody to do it if you want, but chances are you might not
But
be
I
there.
mean, it's good for you to learn. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. So, like, if you're not looking at your money, and a lot of agents, like, they make the mistake of not being like an LLC, also. I mean, this is more,
Mhm.
I mean, when you first start, an LLC is usually fine. I mean, obviously, talk to like the person, your accountant or whatever.
Sure.
But then what will happen is then what will happen, what happened to me.
What happened?
So, a few years in, I mean, you're learning the business, right? And so, like, my first year, I did like 32 deals. The next year, like, double. Then I was like, oh man, this is great. And then the year after, I did a lot of business, but I was only an LLC being taxed as, like, I don't know a lot about like taxes, but basically
Mhm.
being taxed that way. And I got a tax bill that was 60,000, 60, comma, 000.
Oh shit.
And I live in
Why?
Ohio.
Why did that
I bought houses for $50,000. Like, you know what I mean?
right?
And what was happening was I wasn't paying attention.
Mhm.
And I got this huge tax bill when if I had been taxed as like an S corp, which I am now, I pay myself now. But
Yeah.
like I wouldn't have been, my tax consequence wouldn't have been that bad.
Wow. You never make that mistake twice.
Hell no. I
Hell no.
cried. I cried. I was so
Well,
sad.
let's move on to what's likely gonna
Taxes?
be number 2, which is taxes. Yeah,
Yeah.
the biggest
Great.
financial mistake agents are making is not paying their taxes either per deal or per month at a
Or
minimum.
not saving for it when they have to. Yeah. It's usually
Yeah.
it's per quarter.
Or well, you can do per quarter, but I go to the electronic filing service by the IRS, and I
Yeah.
just transfer money after every single sale
You're
because
so smart, girl.
well, no, it's not that I'm smart, it's that I'm that dumb. I'm that dumb that if I don't do it right now, I'll spend it. So,
We just save like 30% of each check like into our account. I mean,
nice.
some people have a separate account, right? Like it really depends on like your spending habits and things like that.
Yeah,
But we like in like we use that YNAB, and so we can say like that's what we want in there and then budget the rest.
that's very smart, very smart. But if you wanna just keep it simple, sign up on it's EFTPS, I think, electronic filing something, I don't know, and
I don't
you
know.
put your bank account in there, and it is a direct link between you and the IRS, and you can just go in and transfer, $3,000 or $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever
That's awesome. That's
every
a great
month.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, so many people don't pay their taxes and then they're stuck and you get fined, which the fines aren't really that big, but like it's, then you have a debt and you don't want debt.
well, and what you end up becoming well, you end up getting into trouble financially, and then you
Yeah.
begin to have, commission breath, and you walk around this business with commission breath because 'cause you're so desperately trying to crawl out of your
Commission breath
hole.
is nasty.
Is nasty.
Stanky.
Well, it is, and it's just a shame because this business can be so awesome, and I see it just crush people because
Yeah.
of not doing the right habits financially.
Yeah. I think too, that leads into, I've seen a lot of agents and I've seen services where you can get your commission before you actually close on a deal. And so
Mm,
many agents I see will spend the commission
mm,
before it's earned.
yeah, either literally or figure, like in their
In their
head.
head.
Right. Like either way, you've got that money accounted for. Maybe it's
Yeah,
going to your mortgage or your rent or whatever, and you become desperate and the deal will fall apart, right? I mean,
always does.
it will fall apart if you desperately need it.
Yeah. But I think I mean, to some, like, to even just round these points out, it's like you had said it before, like, you cannot avoid, like, the state and federal are your business partners, like, and they want their money and they are
Mhm.
super great at collecting.
Yeah, they are. They will
So, like,
shut you down.
they will follow up on
Yeah.
that collection.
Yes.
So it's like, just know that and don't pretend like it doesn't exist, because it does.
Right. My business coach and friend, Hank Avink, says you can't out
Hey,
earn.
Hank.
Hey, Hank, you can't out earn stupid. You can't out
Right.
earn stupid. And this
I
is what
try. I
see
try
a
all the
lot of
time.
agents
I
doing.
feel like I can out earn my stupidity.
Yeah. And he said to me once, he said, I'm not going to teach you how to make any more money until you figure out how to manage your money. Like, it's irresponsible for me to show you how to make a lot more if you don't even know what to F to do with it.
Right. Well, we do, a lot of people know about Dave Ramsey. He does
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
financial coaching and stuff. And I
Yeah.
like his perspective. And even if you're not like a religious person, it's like a good perspective. It's like, it's not really your money. I mean, money's fake anyway, right? But like, that's a
Right.
whole nother rabbit hole.
Right.
It's like, it's God's money and you're the manager. And that's like right in line with what you're saying. It's like, okay, if you thought of yourself as your company's manager of the assets and of the money, would you hire yourself or would you fire yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question for people to ask
Right.
themselves, right?
Most of us would fire
Would
ourselves,
have
I
fired
think.
ourselves at some point, I'm quite
I
sure.
mean, I've done it a few times. I'm pretty hard-headed.
Yeah. Well, the irony by sticking your head in the sand and not looking at it and not doing a P&L and not paying your taxes and just thinking you'll earn more and you'll get it figured out. The irony is that you're actually it's never going to come to you because you're not, what you focus on expands, right? And so you're constantly focusing on what you don't have and you're constantly chasing,
Mhm.
and you're going to get that back tenfold. I just firmly believe that.
Yeah.
But by focusing on what's real, even if it isn't what you want yet, that will serve you better than
Yeah, I
than
think, and
what.
that kind of leads me to something I wanted to discuss too, that I don't I think this does fall under like a financial mistake. And that is, a lot of us, and it goes right in line. Like, we don't think, a lot of us don't think we run a business. Um, and so we're not investing our money properly.
Mhm,
Like, either however you choose to be your investment vehicle.
mhm,
Like, for me, it's rentals. I mean, you know that. And then
mhm,
I also have like stocks and stuff like that, but like, I like the rentals. And so
mhm.
it's like, okay, when I earn my money, a certain portion of that goes towards buying property.
Mhm.
Like, instead of just spending it all and having the business be like a lifestyle business, it's a business that has an end of being able to not have to do the business because
Right.
it's more rentals.
The exit strategy, make the money work
Correct.
for you. Right.
Yep.
Yes, more agents than I've ever cared to know just continue on that treadmill of working for money and
Right.
never understanding how to turn that around.
Right.
It's a shame. It's a
It's a
shame.
mindset thing,
Mhm.
and part of that is really keeping your understanding what you're spending your money on. So like, that begins with, and we've talked about this all the time. That begins with, who are you in business with?
Mhm. That's another big financial challenge, I think, for agents is to
Mhm.
not examine the business partnership that they have with their broker.
Right.
And whether they want to look at that or not, I don't think agents look at it that way. That is a
You
business
don't really
partner.
need
Well,
brokers.
that's a whole listen, we're not blowing up the system today, okay?
Fine, not today. I'll
Some
shut
other
up.
day.
I'm gonna mute myself. No, I'm
But
just kidding.
no, please don't. Then it would just be toe, and that's not a
Right.
good thing.
Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, it is a real financial, decision, and it's a real impact in your business and who you partner with as a broker.
Right.
And if you are giving your broker 35 or 40% every single check, what are you getting for that? And I'm not saying this is not a recruitment segment of this, episode at all. I'm literally saying, what are you freaking getting for it? If you are getting something that is massive value to you, and it's working for you, great.
Great.
40 to
Well,
60.
even then, let's maybe look at let's really, really look at the numbers, and maybe there's some room for renegotiation. I mean,
Absolutely
we've
true.
done that with agents outside of
Yeah. I mean,
EXP.
the industry is changing so much that if you're paying 50-50, 60-40, you are literally stuck
70-30.
watching a black and white television in 1950s. I don't know what you're doing there. I don't. There's so many options that are better than that.
There's a lot.
There
Yeah.
are a lot. And it is mind blowing to me. Look, I used to recruit for Keller Williams. I was the team leader. I ran the office. My
You were a
job was
great
to,
team
oh,
leader.
thanks, Jen. I
You were,
liked that gig. I love those people. I had a great time. I learned a lot there too.
yeah.
But I would talk to agents, and I kid you not. I know you'll believe this actually. I would talk to agents that are at this independent broker here, and they would be earning for 50-50 or 40-60-40 and
Before expenses.
before expenses. And
But
I would
Monica, they were providing postcards.
well, this is what they would say. They would say, well, we get free signs and they do a mailer of 100 postcards around every one of my listings. I'm like, okay, first of all, you do 12 deals a year, 6 of which are listings.
Right.
So that's
How much money is that really?
$200.
Right.
Signs are what, 40-50 bucks a piece. You only have say,
But
like,
even if they're more,
right. And I was literally
it's not
showing
going to be
them,
$40,000. I could
I
tell
was
you.
showing them a $40,000 gain.
Right.
Yes, it was, but agents are not freaking good at math. They will not do the fucking math. And it's mind boggling to me.
Yeah, do it. And if you don't know how to do it, reach out and get
Yeah, that's
reach out to
right.
one of us. We'll help you.
Of course we will help
I
you.
love math. That was my favorite subject.
Was it?
Well, yeah, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Well, it's so black and white. Like for you, it's like, it's either right or
It
wrong.
is what it is.
It is what it is, right? It's math.
It's
Yeah.
math. Well, except I don't know if you remember back in like the 90s, and I'm sorry, California people, I just have an issue with this state. But they they were doing like the 1 + 1 might equal 3 if you feel good about it. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, what are they talking about? It's
It's
math.
sad, yeah. What about the
Yeah.
financial mistake of paying for leads and not holding that money accountable?
Just paying for anything. So then that begs the question of what should the return be? What is a return?
Mhm.
And I mean, people buy things all the time. They're like, well, if I do one deal, it pays for itself. Wonk wonk, not enough.
Okay. So how do you look at that? How would you do that math?
I mean, ideally, I'd like to have it return 8 times.
8 times.
I mean, if we,
Okay.
but I'll take 5.
If it makes you feel good.
I'll take 5, 8's ideal, but it's kind of like an investment property. Like I want a cap rate of 10, but like I'll do 8.
Yeah.
It just like depends, right? But like I think 5 has to be the minimum. So what that means is whatever you're spending on it, you need to multiply that by 5 and get a return for that over a period, like over a set period of time
Yeah.
before you pay for it again. So if it's monthly, right?
Mhm.
And then it would be like within that month you need to return. But what we're seeing is a lot of times is people paying for stuff, and they'll say, even the company that's selling it to you will be like, well, you really need to do it for like 6 months or a year. But here's the thing: one, you're not really doing it. You really don't ever do whatever the thing is that you bought. A lot of
Mhm.
people.
Right.
And you can't correlate it to what deals are actually coming in.
Yeah, and the challenge is they do the simple math on it, which is, hey, I pay $2,000 a month for this and I get a closing a month. So, I'm making like at least $1,000. But what they're not calculating is, okay, and how much of your month, how many hours did you spend following up on the 350 leads you had to get
Right.
to before you got that one sale?
Well, that's like the Zillow. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They're just like the simple math isn't always the best math. You got to look at the whole picture. And if you're
Right.
spending hours and hours and hours following up on these crap leads just to find one that sort of compensates for the money you
Well, and
spent,
what else could you be doing?
what else could
What
you
is
be
a bigger
doing?
return on your
Right.
investment? So like this is where you would look and say, okay, where did all my deals come from? Like, a lot of people, they come from Sphere of Influence or Expired or For Sale by Owner. And if that's where your deals are coming from, then that is a much higher return on your investment. How long, to your point, how long are you taking to call For Sale by Owners or
Yeah.
Expired? If you're
Right.
2 hours a day and you get a couple deals a month, boom, do
Yeah.
that.
Right. Well, and making like an obvious stupid example, if you spend 40 hours a week following up on leads you pay $2,000 for, and all you're making is $4,000, you're making
No.
$2,000 for 40 hours a week.
Right. That's
For a
not
month. It's
right.
not good math.
It's not good math. Math tells you everything. That's the problem.
I've got a hidden financial mistake agents make.
Ooh, tell us.
Reducing their commission.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about that. Stop it. Stop it now. Or paying for shit. I was just in Facebook groups today, like, stop would somebody post? Oh, how do I help a buyer and a seller that are $25,000 apart? I said, find a new buyer.
Right.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? And she was saying, like, instead of using instead of using the commission, why is that even a thing? Like,
right.
Anyway, carry on. You were saying.
No. I mean, it warrants that reaction. I see it all the time. Agents are so freaking quick to give their money up. So quick. Yeah. Now, that being said, you're in the 11th hour and $500 keeps the deal together so that you don't have to go back out for another 10.
This is going to be another podcast. We're going to fight.
I know. No, but there's a smart way, and it's better for me to spend that $500 than to freaking start over with that person. For sure.
Maybe.
For sure. So anyway, though,
that's a good point, though, for the reducing commission or somehow otherwise paying a portion of your commission or whatever.
It's a financial mistake.
I mean, it's just taking money out of, even if most people have kids, right?
Yeah.
So you would rather take money out of your money. That would be my kids. You would rather take food out of your children's mouths and shoes off their feet than stand strong and say, my commission is not up for negotiation. You are the party of the contract. What are you going to do?
Right. Do you want to hold this deal together?
Fine by me. I already have a house. You're the one that wants to sell.
Right.
And I'm not buying it. We can find a new buyer.
Related to that is just taking the wrong listing. These are financial mistakes, guys.
You're right.
These are money costing financial errors that we make in our business. Taking an overpriced listing, taking a listing with an unmotivated seller, taking a listing with an asshole seller. Like, it's a financial mistake.
I think I feel like we should. You're so right. And we can go straight down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, which is a little bit off center, I guess.
It is. So why don't we wrap it up with or just bring it to a close on a positive note?
Okay.
So let's say that I'm an agent and I'm this is hitting pretty hard for me.
Yes.
What is the first step that I should be taking?
Looking at what's real. So the P&L.
Wait, live in reality?
The P&L helps you look at what's real. I don't care if you are in negative numbers. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Especially if you're in negative numbers, look at it, because then you're in a business that you're just paying for. You're working really, really hard to not make any money.
You got it. So I think just the awareness of what's real and what's not real. And if you need help with that, reach out to an agent or a friend or us or an accountant. Would you be even better?
Yeah. Or get a match.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing. Sounds like you agree, but what else should people do? What were you thinking maybe?
No, I think that's right. I was truly just asking. I wasn't really thinking, but I think living in reality is always the best course of action.
Yeah. Look at your if you're in back taxes right now, guys, stop what you're doing and figure out a plan and work the plan. Don't get caught in April. Screwed. Because you probably, some of you guys probably took the extension through COVID. And so you're already backpedaling. You haven't paid for the deals you had this year so far. It is time.
Let's get out of debt. Step one, look at your numbers and get out of debt.
Right. P.S. You're modeling for your kids, by the way. And is this how you want them to run their lives?
Uh-oh. Damn.
Wah, wah.
All right. Let's go back to our corner.
I think we better.
I think so. We'll take a short break here, a word from our sponsor. And when we return, I guess we'll have the final punches.
Oh no, or
I feel I need a mask, a shield.
Okay.
A real mask, not the fake masks.
All right. Welcome back. All right. This has been a unique toe-to-toe episode. We haven't really been throwing punches at each other. I feel like maybe we've been throwing punches out at our listeners, and I'm sorry for that. But we're doing it because we love you guys.
We love you. Yes. We want you to make money.
We want you to make money. We want you to breathe. We want you not to be stressed about money. It's not worth it.
Plus, you can't really help your clients if you're stressed out about money.
That's true. That's true.
Terrible to be around.
So of all the things we talked about paying your taxes, we talked about getting a P&L, we talked about your partnership with your broker, i.e. your business partner. We talked about the mistake of reducing commissions. We talked about a couple other things I think I missed, but what do you think is the standout one, Jen, for people to pay attention to?
I mean, the standout one is always for me is tracking what you're doing and holding it accountable. I mean, every time, hands down.
It seems to me when you do that, the other things I just listed
It'll fall into
will
place.
fall in place.
Yep.
Right. Because you'll be looking at
and our he's not really a tiebreaker, but our friend Spike is on, and
he's so smart. Yeah.
He's so smart. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Oh, guys, if you want to learn about wealth building and learn from somebody that sets an incredible example, tune into the extra rounds with Spike. He's awesome.
Yes, he's great.
What's great about him is if you look at him, he does not look like Spike at all. The name is not at all.
I like it. I feel like he should have like some type of collar.
Yeah, he should. He should. All right, Jen, what do you think? That's going to have to be it for today.
Yeah, I hope people found it helpful. I know it was tough, but it's one of those, it's good for you. Eat your vegetable type things.
It is, and
drink water.
And it's something we don't talk enough about. We just talk about make more money, sell more houses, sell more. That's a lot of brokerages are just encouraging you to do that. Sell more, sell more, sell more, grow a team.
Yep.
Hold on a fucking second.
Right.
Do you understand what you're doing financially first?
Right.
Right.
Mo problems. That's what
right. That's right. All right, guys. We'd love it if you'd go to our Facebook page. That's the Toe to Toe Podcast Facebook page. That's what it's called. And let us know if anything hit home or if you have anything you want to add. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if you could do us a favor and you like this podcast, please rate us 5 stars and leave a comment. It helps us get seen. And if you have any topic ideas, let us know.
Absolutely. All right, Jen, see you next time.
Oh, hey, Monica.
Yeah.
Also, of course, if you're interested to learn about EXP, hit us up.
Well, if you're taking a look at your brokerage and what you're getting for the money you're sharing, this would be an incredible opportunity to look at this model. It is as powerful as one that's hit our industry in a long time.
Agreed.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.